And to have him be like, actually, it was supposed to be green, but they didn't have green. I said, that is the best question ever.
Because the thing is, you just assume like, oh, he wanted it to be purple the whole time. And if you see green, it doesn't really. I mean, I love green, but it doesn't really hit the same.
Greetings and welcome to another episode of Q Points Podcast. I am DJ Sir Daniel.
And my name is Jay Ray, sometimes known by my government as Johnny Ray Cornegay III. And Sir Daniel, I gotta say, we got a legend in the building.
We have guests. I've straightened up. I made sure that, the right lighting is hitting. The albums are straightened. You can't see it right now. The sign is a little crooked. I didn't get to that. But Jerry, there's been a lot of hip hop conversations going on. Albums have dropped and people are just things are thinking. People are saying all kinds of stuff, and there's a lot of glazing, there's a lot of praising, and all of it carrying on. And all of that is fine. But here at Q Points, we believe in speaking to people who are genuine articles of the art of hip hop. People that know what they're talking about, people that actually love the music and the arts and the different elements of hip hop. So I think our guest fits all of that criteria, J. Ray. What do you say?
Absolutely. Our guest lives this culture, is this culture, breathes this culture. And before we introduce him, I want to just do two things, because what's great is there are these folks in the Q Points universe that this person is also connected to. So we got to shout out Liquid for making sure that we got this connect happen. We love Liquid. Also our brother, Mr. Al Pete. So he's been on Mr. Al Pete's podcast. Of course, Mr. Al Pete is our brother. But folks, joining us on our show today is Donwill. Donwill is a certified rap encyclopedia, or rather an almanac. He is the host of the Almanac of Rap, a Webby Award-winning podcast, a Webby Award-winning Okayplayer produced podcast series. The series combines rap conversations with deep in the weeds fandom and satirical humor, all curated by Donwill himself, a former blogger who's written for The Village Voice, traded book recommendations with Lupe Fiasco, and rapped with Drake as a member of the duo Tanya Morgan. Donwill employs a workmanlike approach to the art of journalism, taking at least a week to research each episode of his show. It's appreciation as much as attention to craft. It's also why his podcast stands as a show by and for the culture. More specifically speaking, Donwill is the culture. He is the rapper turned podcaster we deserve. And it is without further ado, Q Points family, welcome Donwill to the show. What's up, man?
Welcome. What's happening, Don?
Listen, man, I was listening to the introduction, the greeting, and I'm like, is this for me? Are they talking about me?
You
No, they said my name, so it must be about me, but I don't know if I know what I'm talking about all the time.
Absolutely. And you put in the work, you put in the hard yards to get this rep and to, this reputation. And clearly you have a love for rap music and hip hop in general. Just school our viewers and listeners right now and tell us a little bit about the Almanac of Rap and just its inception, and why'd you even start calling it the Almanac?
So it was called, initially it came about from a Twitch stream I used to do.
Okay.
I used to stream on Twitch during the pandemic, and a friend of mine, DJ Lindsay, had a show on Sonos radio called, I think it was called Black Is. But it was just a show about just Black culture and really Black musical touch points and things within the Black community. And she would come to my Twitch stream, and I would like do these like rants about artists. I had a rant about how LL Cool J is one of the most ridiculous people to ever. Just a ridiculous man.
I want to hear this rant.
Listen, you got my attention.
I will give you the abbreviated version. LL Cool J has been just unhinged the entire time. He's maniacal. Like from seeing him on the I'm Bad video running down the street and then jumping around a condemned warehouse, like I was like, oh, this man is special. And he's proven to be as special as we think he is up until like the deepest bluest, my hat is like a
Yeah,
shark's fin.
yeah.
So imagine an hour's worth of that with music and commentary and stopping the song and like talking about the lyrics. And my friend was like, you should really look at like adapting this into a show and trying to like make a show about I don't know what, but I think you have the personality for it. And prior to that, I had been podcasting before. I
Mhm.
had a show called A Book of Rhymes where I just interviewed artists about their catalog and about their lyrics. Before that, I had a podcast called Bad with Names where I would just interview friends and people about whatever, you know. It was more or less just about the art of conversation, just talking to
Mhm.
people. And I've always had like a I don't know, I just really like recording and I like the audio space.
Yeah.
So, like outside of rapping and recording lyrics, it just lent itself to spending more time with voices, like
Mm.
getting in the DAW and getting in the digital audio workstation and editing the voices and like putting effects on there. Like it's just so much fun for me to play in that way. But the show itself, the Almanac of Rap. So all of that to say, I do have a deep care for hip hop,
Mm.
and I have a deep care for interviewing and for treating guests a certain way because as an artist myself, I remember good interviews and I remember bad interviews. I remember
Mm.
interviews where you would show up and the person would be like, "And what's your name? What
Wow.
what did you do? What do you do?"
Yeah.
Like you would get thrown into like basically just you would get thrown into a conversation with a stranger who hadn't done any research because either their
Hmm.
team hadn't researched them or they just didn't do it. And part of the reason why I take so long to do my research is because I at least want to have like a working knowledge of the person I'm talking to.
Mm.
So I like a week, but I have had like interviews that I've had to turn around in like 24 hours, 48
Yeah.
hours.
Hmm.
And I think that the way that my anxiety is set up, you can't really tell if it's been a week or 48 hours.
Yeah. No, I can
But
relate to that. I can relate to that as a DJ, like especially when we're talking about vinyl. I need to know what I'm playing.
Mhm.
Like I know several DJs that just bring crates with
Crates
them,
of records just
and
with them.
they're just like, yeah, I guess I'll just play this. And I'm like, the way my anxiety is set up, cannot, and I appreciate that as well with regards to interviewing because we put the same amount of care
Mhm.
into what we do here at Q Point. So J Ray, I think we've met another cousin. We've
yeah,
definitely a kin. This is definitely kinfolk here.
I could
Absolutely.
I could tell by the guest email, like the email that was sent to me. I was
Oh,
like,
we do
I
like
was like,
that.
okay, yeah. I was like, I know what I'm getting into, and I felt
Yeah.
very comfortable coming onto the show. Like I've gotten somewhere I'm just like, let's see how this turns out.
Right.
Mm.
It's always a
So
good time.
glad.
Shout out to anybody that wants to talk to me at all. Like I
Yes.
appreciate anybody that's willing to share their platform with me. But when a show goes that extra mile to really just care about the details and buttoning things down and making
Yeah.
sure that the guest feels like their time is going to be respected in a way, That's the thing that I care the most about is making sure my guests know that I respect their time and the fact that they show up for me.
And that's what we definitely strive to do. And I'm so glad you had that experience, brother. We appreciate that note. Um, I moving from so there's the stage, there's all the stuff you do musically, and then of course being in this podcast space in this current moment, what are some things that are the same that you bring from that world into this work, and what are some things that you're like, oh, I've had to really learn how to do this and really figure it out.
I think the thing that I've had to learn how to do more than anything is be present. And it's gonna sound really weird, but I think that, as a DJ, you can relate. Um, Sometimes when you're performing whatever your craft is and you've rehearsed it and done it so many times, you can go to autopilot. Like
Mm,
there's so many
Yeah.
countless stories of artists and other people who will be on stage and be doing the hit song and be like, yeah, I was thinking about what we gonna eat later after the show. Or I
Mhm.
had to think like you get so distracted by the life that you're living and the other things, the external forces in that life, that sometimes it's hard to really ground yourself in that moment.
Yeah.
Um, so sometimes when I was on stage, like I have to remember to be present on stage. I have to
Yeah.
literally remember like you're in front of X amount of people performing a song. Just because you know the words and your body understands exactly what to do when this bar comes, still lock in. Cause so on the flip, when you're in a conversation with a person,
Mhm.
like you have to lock in.
Yeah.
You can't be distracted, especially when it's being recorded because it comes off. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the
Mhm.
main things that I've had to like adjust to, but something that I brought from the music space, and brought from performance space is just curiosity. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Mm.
Um, like really like when you're writing a rhyme or when you're looking for a record for a mix or when you're looking for a sample, you almost have to be curious in a different sort of way, like in a way that makes you unique. Like I always say that I like to think about the questions that I pose in interviews as being things that are just outside of the frame.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you see a picture and you see somebody in a picture in like the background, like doing like
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
and
Yes.
you're like, well, what was he pointing at?
Right.
Uh-huh,
And you,
uh-huh.
you start to go through a whole forensic essay of like, okay, so they're in a supper club and the light was
Mhm.
dim over there,
Right.
so maybe he couldn't see. Like you, and that's where my mind usually goes. Is I'm always trying to figure out an interesting angle to talk to a person that may have been talked to a million times or that may have never been talked to. You know?
Man, you that clearly comes across in the Almanac of Rap. So I'm gonna give y'all a spoiler for one of the things that you'll experience if you check out Donwill's show. So I was checking out the Raekwon show, and you asked him one of the
Mm.
most fascinating questions. And you was like, why was the
Yep.
tape purple? And I
Purple.
said, why was the tape purple? And to have him be like, actually, it was supposed to be green, but they didn't have green. I said, that is the best question ever.
Because the thing is, you just assume like, oh, he wanted it to be purple the whole time because like purple is the color of royalty.
Right.
It means
Mhm.
so much. It's also one of those colors that like it speaks volumes. If you see something in
Yes.
purple, you notice it. And if you see green, it doesn't really. I mean, I love green, but it doesn't
Mhm.
really hit the same as
Yeah.
purple. Like green is more of a grounding color, and purple is more like this kind of opulent royal color. So
Yes.
for me, when he said it was like, oh, it was supposed to be green, I was just like, what?
Right.
like,
Like, but
like if
why?
yeah, if the multiverse is real and we go back in time to when Raekwon dropped the green tape, I don't think it would have hit the same. You know,
Mm.
I think that the marketing of the purple tape, even saying the
The
purple
real
tape,
tape.
it's more fun with a two-syllable word with a like gr. Like just think
Yes.
about the syllables in the word. Like green tape don't really got that, but purple, you have to reckon with the word purple. You have to like say it. You
Yes.
You
can't you
do.
can't you can't really like just lazily say purple.
No.
You can say green.
Mm-mm.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm
you definitely have to take your knife and fork with it, slice
saying?
it up. You just can't devour
Yeah.
that and just try to swallow that whole. That's absolutely correct. And that's the mark of someone who takes their craft seriously. And we talk about music journalism and hip hop
Mhm.
journalism is spoken a lot of lately, has been spoken a lot of these days. And like you said
Mm.
earlier, anybody can get a microphone and set up some cameras and have conversations like who's your favorite top 5 dead or alive
Yes.
until the cows come home. But Don Will, what are the conversations that we're not having in hip hop? What are the conversations that we should be having right now in this state of the state of the music, the state of the world? What are the conversations that you think that we should be having instead of things that might be a little, banal that people keep talking about over and over again in these spaces?
Hmm. I think that a conversation that's starting to bubble to the surface because it has to is not even ageism, but just aging into hip hop. And
Mhm.
just, like a lot of the artists we love are entering their 50s or leaving their 40s, or you know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
so that aspect of just being an adult, it's something that comes up in conversation because if you interview De La Soul or you interview Common or you know MC Light or Pete Rock, you almost have to talk about adulthood in a different way. I mean, you don't have to, but they bring that into the room with them, so their answers are going to be different. Like if you're asking somebody like, "Yo, what do you do after a show?" and they're like, "I go to sleep."
Right.
Right.
It's like
Yeah.
I
you
put on some icy
ask
hot.
them when.
Right.
Yeah, put on some icy hot. I'm rapping my knee. But
Right.
you asked them that 20 years ago, and it's like, oh man, we going to the club and the studio and whoop de whoop. Or like just even in terms of like their wellness routine, like how they recuperate from the studio or the tour. So that sort of thing is something that I feel like is being talked about more. Something that I don't think is being talked about enough in general. Ah man, it's tough because nothing's being talked about. I won't say
Let's go.
nothing.
No, I mean,
Let-
let's stay there.
Okay. I won't say I don't want to say nothing. I don't want to be like salacious for the sake of having a thing. But I will say that a lot of hip hop journalism and a lot of outlets can't really they can't compete with Instagram and they can't compete with social media. So they're kind of beholden to just asking the same old questions or asking questions about Instagram because they're trying to
right.
keep up with the thing that's happening. So, they're not taking a chance to look at the fullness of an artist or the fullness of their personhood or career. They're just focused on like, so you I saw a post where you was like you were going back and forth with Boosie. Tell me about that or some shit. And it's not really important, you know?
Yeah. Like to let's just stay there for
Yeah.
a second. So we talk a lot about gatekeeping here on Q Points and not inviting everybody to the cookout.
Yeah.
As
Mm,
so there are a lot of
mm.
conversations I feel are not being handled talking about maturity, are not being handled with maturity, are not being handled with any kind of finesse or perhaps there's a lot of gotcha moments. There's a lot of sensationalism. And so it's like how do the formats, how do the people that the platforms that are actually taking the gig seriously and wanting to have those conversations, how do we uplift that and how do we offset the algorithm to pick that up more instead of the clip baits that we're getting
Yeah.
that we're being fed.
I think that it's I'm trying to formulate my thoughts correctly because like we're at the point where the clip is the whole thing. Like the
Mm-hmm.
clip is just the
Yeah.
thing. So, we're recording this conversation for your listeners and the people who watch the whole thing are going to get it, but there are people who will only encounter whatever clip goes out and that's the end and beginning of the relationship. You know what I'm saying? And I'm fully aware of that now. And I understand that there's a art to the clip and making sure that the clip is at least poignant enough to cause a conversation in the space that it exists in. Um, but the other thing is that, and I don't know if this answers the question. Joe Budden, along like he was the first person that I remember saying the word podding, like
Mm-hmm.
Poddin, like oh now we podding, like when things are getting meaty in the podcast, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't think people really understood the gravity of that word when he was
Yeah.
saying it. And I'm when I say the gravity, I mean like when he says now we're potting, that means now we're in character of who we are for the audience, the forward facing character of the podcast. Like if your podcast is a red pill male thing, then that's when you do it. That's when you in it. If your podcast is a financial literacy podcast and you're really in a bag talking about some finance, that's when you're podding. So I think that people just assume that the people on the microphones are who they are the whole time. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they're just in character.
Right.
And those are the things that get clipped up. And I think that the best way to combat it, brother, it's gonna sound dire, but I don't know if we can combat. I
That's
think we
real.
just here, man. I think we're here,
Yeah.
and I think that our job as media and content creators and artists is to do whatever our version of that is. Like get in our bag,
Yeah.
get in our like our character and fully embody whatever that moment that we're in is. So like if I'm talking to Raekwon about the color of the tape and he says some real, there we are,
Yeah.
and you service that. Or I think the it was not even a fight fire with fire. It's just a let that burn. Sorry for cussing. Sorry
No,
for
no,
cussing.
no. You are good. This is leading me to a place, and I'm curious about this. Like when you put on your artist hat, right? Um, it is different in this moment. Shout out. It's the 20th anniversary of Moonlighting, actually. So 2006 is when that record came
Hey,
out. Y'all came in right at that time when everything was shifting. Literally, all the widgets were moving at that moment in 2006 to where kind of moving us to where we are now. Now there isn't when artists need to get put on, they're using their social. They have to build their audiences themselves now,
yep.
basically, before they get put on. But for those artists that are like, listen, I'm good at making beats, I'm good at getting on the mic. What I am not good at is getting on social media and selling y'all and cooking y'all grilled cheese. I can't do that. What do you say to those folks that are like that are talented and are like the world needs to hear you, but they need to break through? Like, what advice would you give them as somebody who's been doing this on all
I'm
sides of this?
Yeah, I'm dealing with it too.
Mm,
And the hardest part about it is, you know, figuring out how to make yourself palatable outside of your talent
Mm.
to an audience that you didn't think you had to make yourself palatable to. So it's sort of like you built these audiences on these social platforms thinking that you have an audience, and you're actually just building a collection of people for that particular platform to advertise other things too because they follow you and they know who you are. So
mhm,
I think that, the thing that I've been kind of trying to figure out with my content, because you gotta just call it what it is, call a spade,
Yeah.
is understanding that, okay, I recorded an album. I made an album. Me and the producer, the expert, we sat down, made this album. Album's done. It sounds fantastic. It's 12, 14 songs. Now, how do you make content about that? Because that's not the content, that's the art.
right.
How do you
All right.
make the content about the art? And even within that, how do you do it in a way that's true to you? Because we can use all the term, the ick and all that. It that's not really a thing if you're trying to market and promote. It is a thing. It's a thing if you're doing it in a way that's out of character for who you are.
Mhm,
But like if you do cook and that's what you do,
mhm.
just turn on the camera, cook a meal, and then place your audio over it, or
Yeah.
say something to camera. Like there's a million ways to skin a cat, but the thing that I've been resting easy about with it all is that I a saying that I have is that the typos now are more important than ever because AI is about perfection.
Mm.
So
Yeah, buddy.
if if you can be as human as you can be full of errors, you can whatever you do, don't feel bad about it not shining through with this perfect sheen because you got robots dancing in China. You know what I'm saying? You can walk down
Terribly,
the
by
street
the
and
way.
I love seeing robots bust their ass.
Right.
But you got
And they get mad too.
yeah, they glitch out. But you got robot food delivery carts. The cars
Yeah.
drive themselves. The AI. You can make AI podcasts. They're making this so that you can now do remixes of songs with AI.
Mhm.
They're doing all these things because they just have the data and they're essentially they're bored. You know what I'm saying? When I say bored, that's probably the wrong word, but they just have this technology and they're trying to find all these other ways to implement it. And I'm like, just build a robot to make mining safer. Go put a
Mhm.
robot in the mine so people don't lose arms and but whatever.
Yeah.
So I know I took a long tangent, long way of saying this, but the short answer is it's gonna sound very what's the word? Um, Not stereotypical. It's gonna sound cliche. It's gonna sound very cliche, but you just gotta be yourself. Just be you. Like just cut on the camera and be exactly who you are. And again, that's something that I've been dealing with because I don't like the forward facing camera.
Mm,
Oh,
You
okay.
know,
really? And your podcast is video now too.
it is video. And it's because I'm not filming myself, so I don't have to,
So you don't have to worry about
it's
it. You have it. Yeah.
Right.
it's much easier for me. For me anyway. It's much easier to have someone filming me
Mhm.
and making decisions on what they think looks good aesthetically than me filming myself. Um, and that's been my hang up all the time. It's like you don't really see too much of me on Instagram, like doing the yo, what's up? It's Donwill. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? I'm just checking
Mhm.
in to tell you I don't do that a lot because I'm just not comfortable with it all the time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Um, and it's just something that you have to get comfortable with. You just have to.
Mhm.
And that's
It-
fair. That's very fair. I think it might be generational because I know, some for me, like it's kind of foreign,
Mhm.
having a camera and talking into it. Now, talking into a tape recorder, that's different. Again,
yes,
generational. But knowing that you're able to continue and to shine just being yourself, and like you said, not be artificial intelligence, but to be yourself, be human and have flaws. What does being supported by Okayplayer
Yeah.
mean to you in that sense? That because it sounds like Okayplayer is okay with you being the way you are, you know what I'm
I like
saying?
that. I like that. Yeah, it's a full circle moment.
Mm,
Like and even thinking about how the album was 20 years old, like
Yeah.
that's around the time I logged onto the website for the first time. It was in
mhm,
there.
That's crazy.
Like
Yeah.
it was, yeah. So like, walking into the offices and seeing like, they have a little timeline of events and like my group's Tanya Morgan stuff is back there in '06, and then I'm up there in 2026. It's a really wild feeling. An okay player has been nothing but supportive, helpful. Um, and in terms of turning the podcast into a video show, they've been like they have a vision for it. Like
Mhm.
I definitely had the audio thing. I knew exactly what I was doing, exactly. But when you start pointing cameras at me, I'm like, I don't know, man. So shout out to them over there. You know what I'm saying? Because the whole staff over there, the whole team, because they 1000% um made the video podcast what it was. Like I don't take credit for the video aspect of the podcast at all.
Mhm.
You know, I do have a vision, I do have input, and I do have say, and I do have like we should do XYZ. The way you have to approach video, and this might be touching on the conversation about the front facing camera. There's a way you have to approach the visual image and treat the visual image that, you know, if you want it to look a certain way, if you want it to be a certain thing, like I can't, I don't have that sauce.
So you were just opening act. Michelle Buteau was on
Yeah.
tour. Big things. Congratulations for you being able to do
Thank you.
that work, right? So there's two things in that. One, I saw that you released very recently, actually, a video clip of your set at I think it was a Vegas show that you
Yeah.
had done. And what I loved about it was you did like three things in there. You DJ'd, you rapped, and the crowd work was really important. And then I learned in the research to this that you have a comedy background. I don't know how I missed that in your background. You did some work in comedy too.
Yeah.
So, two things. Um, what was the hardest part about prepping for being the opening act on those shows? And how important was that crowd work to like sticking the landing for you?
Oh man. Both. Yes and yes. The hardest thing about prepping for those shows was figuring out how to make my music translate to a universal audience.
Mm-hmm.
Because if any listeners out there that aren't familiar with the music that I make, it is backpack rap. It is boom bap. We do
Mm-hmm.
have some songs that are danceable, singable, but for the most part, my solo catalog, you have to search for a hook. It's just like I don't know what's
Mm.
happening. There's a DJ scratching. There's a
Yeah.
just rapping for 3 minutes. It's very artful hip hop. It's very
Yes.
Yeah.
art and like I do what I do in a way that the audience I've cultivated enjoys it.
Yes.
So, in going in front of her audience, because I've been DJing for her and working with her for a long time now. Like I did our last tour with her as well.
Okay.
But I
Nice.
just DJ'd that tour. I didn't like perform. I just DJ'd, and then we
Mhm.
had to have an opening act from city to city. But the thing that I learned on that run was that her audience is very diverse
Hmm.
and gauges slightly out of the age range of what my demographic is musically.
Mhm.
Um, so even within the DJ set, like I'm not playing respectfully. I'm not playing like Tribe or LL or like
Mhm.
I'm playing like music that audience wants to hear. It's not really a like if it's some rap, it's the girls. It's like
Yeah.
Meg. It's like like
Yeah.
City Girls is a lot for those. So for me, it was just okay. What do I do to make these songs appeal? And part of it was on two songs. I did a beat switch on one song, and then on another song I just did a whole different beat,
Mhm.
because I figured that if I could just make the sound bed interesting enough, the message would be cut through still. And then within that, also the crowd work and engaging the audience was a big part of it because the thing about rap shows and the thing about shows in general, if you're not familiar with the artist, especially rap, it's just a lot of words coming at you really fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of like, what I'm saying, me sounding semi angry about whatever the thing is, or it's I won't say it's not musical, but it's not singing. Singing,
Yeah.
I think if you're watching a person singing for the first time, it's fine. You're like, oh, okay, this person, oh, they can sing, cool. But a
Mm.
rap act for the first time, it gives you so much more space to judge it on a different metric. Um, so that was the crowd work thing was fun because it was also very rewarding. It's like I kept calling it like a magic trick.
Mm.
Like by the time I get through the first song, like people are just applauding. They're
Yes.
like, yeah. And some of that applause, I'm gonna keep it funky. Some of that applause is like, okay, this is over. We get the headliner. And I'm like,
Yes.
no, you don't.
All right, good, good.
I
Okay,
have
bring
more
it on.
time.
But so that's what makes the crowd work important. For the most part, for the most part. Not even for the most part. The reception that I got was overwhelmingly positive, and it
Nice.
just because the other thing too is that I don't really do solo shows. I've been I've been hiding in plain sight as a DJ. Like I found a way to be on stage and be involved in the night, but not be even be front and center, but not be like the focal point. When I DJ, it's about the music. It's just
Mhm.
Hmm.
I'm enjoying the music as much as the audience is, and I'm also reading the room. So there's a lot of different things that go into a DJ set that would you know it's a different muscle for me than rapping.
Mhm.
And this was the first time where like Michelle flat out was like at the end of our last tour, this is how me performing on her opening on her show came to be. She was like, she just walked. I think we were in the Beacon. She was like, "Hey, how come you don't rap?" And I was like, "What do you mean?"
Like,
She's like, she's like, "You're a rapper. You have a whole like career, albums. How come you haven't been rapping?" And I was like, I think I was just like, I didn't know I could do that. I said whatever I said was just, and she was like, "You should rap." And I was like, "Okay." Then the next night she came back like, "You're gonna rap." And I was like, "Okay." Then the tour ended. That tour ended.
right.
So before this tour started, she was like, hit me up like maybe 2 months in advance, like, "So you're opening the tour. You have 20 minutes. Figure
Cool.
out whatever you're gonna do, but it will be rap." It's like,
I love that. See how your friends push you? We want to talk
Yes,
about community, like
yeah,
pushing you.
super important.
yeah.
Man.
and it's so funny, like, because that's one of the most unlikely sources for a person to push you to rap is a comedian in
Right.
the comedy space, and she's like I man, I have nothing but like glowing, kind, beautiful words from Michelle. Like she's one of my favorite people. She's a really good friend, and she like the stuff you see and the message.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just it's literally baked into her DNA.
Yeah.
Like she is one of the most giving, kind, beautiful people I know, and she's funny.
Yeah.
But she
Super
also,
funny. She is hilarious.
but she also, like, she's not. She don't take no. You know, like I love her to death. I love her to death, and I'm eternally grateful for her letting me, pull out the raps real quick for her
Yes.
audience, and they've enjoyed it.
It's so funny how I guess this is just a testament to how life doesn't always turn out the way you thought it was going to be, but still, like 20 years ago, you're thinking, yo, I'm an MC,
Yep.
I'm gonna hold it down, and I'm gonna rap my raps and people are gonna love it. I also like to DJ, because that's what I do. I'm a b-boy. I know how to DJ as well. I live this hip hop stuff. But then comedy and hip hop go hand in hand. Quite
Yep.
frankly, our
Yep.
culture has really joined the two of them together quite a bit. And so, who knew that preparing yourself back then
Mm-hmm.
as an MC and as a DJ would lead you to this point? So it's just like you just all the practice hours that you logged. I mean, it was for a purpose, and here you are now. So that's got to feel really good when you
I
look back and you see, I've accomplished this. This is what I
Mm-hmm.
did.
I think about it a lot, and I mean, especially with that tour,
Mm.
like there were just moments where, like outside of the opening performance, like rapping, I would just like when I would go back, I would resume the role of DJ, and Michelle would be doing comedy, and she turn around like we have banter. I'm like, rap got me here.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
think about it so many times. Like I'm in so many different rooms and so many different spaces that I wouldn't have dreamed of being in because my vision for what my path would be was so narrow. It was like I'm going to rap, I'm going to tour. I remember the first job that well, not first, like one of the last jobs I ever quit was around early 2000s, and my boss was like, "What are you gonna do?" I was like, "I'm going on tour. I'm gonna be a rapper." And she was like, "Oh, you might want to rethink that. I'll give you
Mm.
I'll give you a 30-day grace period." I was like, "No, no, no. The tour is 45 days. I won't be back. It's fine." Within a month of that tour, I was like, "I think I need to go back." I didn't go back though. I didn't go back, but like the dedication and just like deciding like no, this is
Yeah.
what's going to happen, I'm going to do it, and also being open to
Mm.
positive experiences and being open to new experiences and learning. It all got me here in the same way, you know what I'm saying? But like it's just sometimes I'll just be like at a random place, like I DJ'd the Ambies, and I'm just up
Yeah.
there DJing
Yeah.
and presenting awards, and I'm like, I just used to rap.
Who'd
Yeah.
have thunk it?
Who'd
Who
have
the
Who'd have
thunk
fuck
thunk
it?
would
it?
have thunk it? I was in my bedroom making demos, and
Yeah.
now
Mm.
this is crazy. But it's never crazy. It's just, it's not even about it being crazy. It's about it being just your ministry,
Yeah.
Ooh.
being your thing. You know what I'm saying? Like you're really like to go back to what I was saying about Joe Budden and the podding.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're in
Mm-hmm.
your bag, if you just in your life bag, it works out.
It works out. I don't even. This is going to be interesting then, because I'm curious to know what your answer is to this next question. But like, what are you on the artistic side? Outside of podcasting, like what are you gravitating more to these days? Is it like DJing is like the thing has rapping like raised back up since you've done the tour? Like what's like the thing that you're gravitating to the most right now, and why?
So rap is my first language. It's my fluency. I do have an album coming out. Like I'm going to make a rap album. I'm always going to make some music. So I have an album coming out in the fall with this guy, the Expert, really dope producer from Ireland. It's very boom bap. It's exactly what you would expect a man who made Moonlighting to make.
Yes.
um, but like even within that, outside of that, I would say right now I'm just producing a lot. I'm making beats. I just enjoy the quiet and the focus of like the knobs and making and the samplers and like writing. When I writing for me is I have to be in the space to write. I don't have much to say. I just finished the album. I don't have much to say that's new or unique. I'm still in the middle of gathering the information. DJing is always going to be around. Like the three things. So rapping, producing, and DJing are just constants in my life, and they never stop. DJing is the one thing that I do the most, and it's the thing that I genuinely, if I'm be completely honest, it's the thing I feel the luckiest to get to do.
Ah, I
I,
love that.
I totally get that.
It's one I came about it late, so like it was the thing I put in my arsenal after everything else. And when I tell you, I understand why people are just like starting to DJ or buying controllers or like whatever, because there is literally nothing like a night where you had a day that has whooped your ass and you turn on that mixer, them turntables, and you play the song that you've been dying to hear loud, and the room wants to hear it too. Like it is, man. Like it's the one thing that I truly, even when I'm like I don't want to, even when I have those moments where I'm like I don't feel like doing this. Like it's like going to the gym or like there's sometimes not every gig is your favorite gig. I'll just say that. And I'm gonna leave it.
Yeah.
You already know. You already there are some gigs where you show up and like your pay is a 2 drinks and a plate or whatever they want to do for you that night.
If that.
You sit your controller at the end of the bar or whatever. You just doing your thing. But it's such a beautiful, it's such a beautiful task to be able to just play music for people.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing. That's the trade. The trade is that even when it's even like those horror stories about requests and people like coming up and asking for music, they're real. But also, depending on the environment, that's an opportunity to it's further research. Like if you're in a club and somebody comes up like, yo, me and my homies, we want to hear XYZ whoop de whoop, and if you're actually watching the room and doing your homework, then that might be the turn that the night needs. You know what I'm saying? Or it might be a person that just, they just want to connect with somebody. They just literally, not everybody has nefarious, intentions when they approach a DJ. I won't say everybody is like that, but for the most part, I've softened up on requests. There was a time where I was very I remember stopping the music and telling people like,
leave me alone.
A woman walked up and requested, and I was just like, tell the room what you wanted to hear. That type of, do we want to hear this? You guys, like, that's what it. Yeah, but yeah, I would say I feel lucky and I feel blessed to be able to do any of the things that I do for a living. But DJing is just that one thing that, man, like it feels like you can control the tone of a room, control the time, like you're helping people have a better night.
You
have
are.
A good night.
You are. Like I tell Sir Daniel knows this. So I'm a dancer, Donwill. And listen, and there was a period of time when I thought I wanted to be a DJ. And because I love that the experience that I have as a dancer. But what I realized is like, no, I don't. I just want to experience it. And so I am a lover of DJs and the experiences that y'all create for us. And I sit in that experience. I just want to go. Sir Daniel knows I'm going to hit the dance floor. If you get me hitting the dance floor, you doing good.
And I was going to say, and I'm sure Sir Daniel could attest that the dancers are as important as the DJ.
Absolutely. And the fact that we don't see more people. So if I see somebody break out there might be that one person that breaks out. It's like, oh, whatever it takes to keep that person doing that, I'm going to do that. I'm going to continue playing because that person right there is who I'm playing for. Because the outward display of joy is like that's what DJs live for. That's currency to us, big time.
Yeah. And I think a quiet part that doesn't really get spoken about enough is that there are so many different types of DJs.
Yeah.
Like there are DJs like Jazzy Jeff. If he comes to DJ your party, you're going to see Jazzy Jeff. Period.
Absolutely.
Whatever
I want to watch
he gives
him.
you,
He's gonna do that. All of that work. I want to see it.
whatever he gives you is what you're gonna get, and you're gonna like it. Goddamn. And like there are other people like him. Like he's who he is. He's of the cloth. He's like an icon, but there are other icons. Like who you go, you get what they give, and you enjoy it. And then there are DJs who are working DJs who show up, read a room, play to the audience, and make sure that everybody's having a good time. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that that's all there is, but the gray area between that, like, I really do enjoy reading rooms, making people move, looking at pockets of people like, all right, so they're not dancing. Let me see. Like you do a little bit of like profiling, like, okay, I'm gonna throw in some Spice Girls and see what happens. They get up. You're like, I got them. All right, now how do I get these niggas to party with these people? And it's just like it's this subtle dance of like it's like anthropology. I don't know if that's the right word for it, but you know what I'm saying? You're doing this kind of like
that's valid.
Yeah, you're doing this study of the room.
Yes.
Yeah. And as a people watcher, it's my joy to like not only watch them but manipulate them a little bit and make them dance.
Yes.
Donwill, the clearly as a DJ, you speak the language of music. But what DJs have to do is we also have to keep our ears fresh. And, people are always asking us to listen to new music and to check this out, to have you heard this. But you have a Substack called New Music Tuesday. And which I love because as a former record store employee, Tuesday was the day. Super Tuesday was the day that we all looked forward to because that's when the new releases would come out and we'd have dates on our our dry erase board and people would come
dry erase
and asking, has it come out yet? No.
And then if it gets pushed back, you gotta
pushed back, then boy, let me tell you something. If it gets pushed back, forget about it. I'll never forget when that Khaleesi's Wonderland, the date kept getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. And finally, it was just it's not coming out. Well, not the US version. So it's just not coming out. So I said all that to say, you have a Substack, New Music Tuesday. You're listening to new things constantly. Well, that's a question. Are you, because you're so heavily in it, do you just sometimes I'm just like, I don't want to hear anything else. I'm in album mode right now. Or are you constantly listening to new stuff? And if so, what are you enjoying right now? And what should we look out for?
That's a really good question. Like the posing it as, do I listen to the stuff that I write about, or am I just no? Seriously, it's a valid question because there are times when I don't. There are times like I want to say for the past month and a half, 2 months, I haven't heard anything I've posted about. I've just been using the space as a way to earmark things for me to go back and check out. Like so basically the philosophy of the New Music Tuesday newsletter is I'm not going to write about something that I don't personally want to hear. I'm not going to shed light or give light to anything for the sake of like trashing it or saying like, oh, look at this one, oh, I hate this dude, look at his video sucks. There's enough of that. This is a space where I'm writing about things that I either enjoy or think I will enjoy, and if you happen to enjoy them, that's great too. I'm also writing about other musicians or artists who I know who are working class musicians and might not be able to get the same level of press that they used to. So it's just a way for me to like spread them. Like, I got so many homies that when the blogs went away, like we were like, well, what do we do
Yeah.
now? I guess we just run to Instagram, and it goes back to that same question
Right.
you asked me. That's a long way to answer. I'm sorry, but so the last album that I remember running back 3 or 4 times is this cat like from he was in a group called Pacific Division, Pac Div.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, he put out an album called I forget what it's called. It's called like songs made. I don't know what the album's called. It's got a green cover and like a little like hand drawn figure. Like produced he also like also produced the song Sing About Me for Kendrick Lamar.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
he's got like he's got like a heavy resume and he raps really well. So the album is dope. It's got 2 cuts with Fonte on it, blues on there.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Rocks from what's his group's name? The Cool Kids is on there. It's a really dope album, but it's classic boom bap. It's hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
Another album that I listened to and I enjoyed, but I haven't returned to is Kalani's album.
Oh, I have to
Really,
check that. I have to
really
check it out. I haven't listened yet. I heard it's good.
the yeah, the prop if I'm gonna say there's a problem with it, it's not a problem. But for me personally, I enjoy shorter albums
Mm-hmm.
with a more
Okay.
focused concentration of songs.
Hold on, Donwill. Are you telling me that you don't like albums that have like 39 cuts on them? Is that what you're saying?
Oh,
You don't
oh,
like
absolutely.
you
Yeah,
don't
if you
you don't
just
like trilogy?
if you drop a 3 disc album on
Yes.
me, I might not listen to it.
DJs, I want to ask you a question. If you have in your spirit, if y'all were DJing a party tonight
I am.
and you had to drop a song that's in your spirit, you like, I just want people to shake their ass to this. What's that song for you tonight? Don Will, what's the song that you was just like, this one's going in because I want people to dance to it?
At the party I'm gonna be at tonight, I think the one that I would drop is Act Up. City Girls Act Up.
Okay, okay,
A
okay.
classic. A
Mhm.
classic. Really give up about it. Like
Mm-hmm.
I love that song. I love that song so much.
Shout out to
And it
Lil Yachty.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it always gets the response that I wanted to get. It's like one of those like, standards. And then there's fun stuff you could do to mix out of it. But
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Sir Daniel.
So I was trying to, be, real grand about this, but then I said, you know what, the song that I'm going to drop, if I were to be spinning tonight, I would drop "It Takes Two" by Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock.
oh man.
I just got to do it. I
Yeah,
have
yeah.
to do it. I have to do it. At the time of this recording, we just got the news that Rob Bass passed away at the age of 59, which is wow. It's so crazy that he passed away so young, such a young age. And his DJ Easy Rock passed away back in 2014, and he was super young as well. So that for me, that's what I would do. I would definitely pay homage to him because he is such an important part
Yes.
of our lives, and
Yep.
we actually we've taken it for granted. We've taken his music for granted because it's always been there, and I think we do that a lot to our heritage artists, especially when we're talking about hip hop. We were talking
Yeah.
earlier about aging in hip hop and being respectful of that. And I think we do take for granted people who are over a certain age and who maybe have not dropped a record for 30 years. But it does not negate the importance that they have to the culture, because what they've done has actually carved a lane for everybody that's popping right now,
Mm-hmm.
and for everybody to continue to be eating off of
Yes.
hip hop. I don't know if it's still a full course meal or a carcass right now, but people are still eating off of rap music today. And I guess the question I want to pose to you all then is, well, it's not even a question. Thinking about Rob Bass makes me rethink the term one hit wonder.
Mm.
I think that we do a disservice when we call people one-hit wonders, simply because that one hit literally can become part of the fabric of your life.
Yeah.
And again, it spins off. That's the thing about this culture. It creates a vibration and a ripple effect throughout the culture that you don't even realize is happening. But do you know how many like clubs and dance recitals we've been to that people have jammed out to It Takes Two? How many DJs have done routines off of It Takes Two? So I think I'm rethinking the term one hit wonder and using it, possibly removing it from my vernacular when it comes to talking about artists, especially when it comes to talking about our artists.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to demean them anymore in that
Absolutely.
way.
I don't. I've. It's funny you say that. I don't use that, and I'm just realizing in this moment that I don't use it. Like it's as like an artist when you're trying to make, what I'm saying, like music that has mass appeal or make music that people would enjoy. Like it's only a negative connotation. There's nothing positive about it. You know what I'm saying? And like the other thing is that to get a hit, whatever your definition of a hit is it's hard for one. You know what I'm saying? So you got one round of applause. If you make more than one, then lightning is striking inside the bottle. But you know what I'm saying? Like the other thing is that there's this thing about work that I'm thinking and how, to say one hit wonder means that artist worked in service of an industry and not a community. So to say he had one hit, he's a one hit wonder. Yeah, one hit wonder for the label that is making money off of him. For an industry that needs him to pay assistance and fuel other ventures. But in terms of like his impact, it's endless, it's boundless. You know what I'm saying? And also it has to be said that he said the Big Mac. You know what I'm saying? He loved Whoppers.
Do you know how impactful that is? Because McDonald's is king. Especially McDonald's was putting a lot of money in hip hop, and for him to say that, directly for the competition, that's a lot of balls.
You know what? I feel like I'm half joking.
I'm so with the both of you. Like, there is not a black gathering in the world that It Takes Two or Joy and Pain is not playing at. There isn't a gathering where these songs aren't showing up in the DJ set. And I'm gonna tell you, those songs were bridge songs. They took songs that our parents loved, added some rap to them, and we loved it. So my parents were dancing to those songs, and they didn't like rap, but they liked that.
Yeah.
And we don't get a lot of that these days, where there are these songs that directly call back to the previous generation and bring it forward. So that legacy, we stand 10 toes down on that. Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock made magic.
They made magic. And like, even if you go back and look at like that video, like the video for
It Takes Two.
It Takes Two, yeah. That video it was such like a it was a time capsule. And like stuff like that is like he's as important to the culture as Rakim.
Classic. And this has been an amazingly rich classic conversation, Donwill. We appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for taking the time to come and hang out with us, man.
Thank you for having me, man. Like I gotta say, I love conversations like this. Conversations that like go from place to place, well structured, and also are just full of like curiosity and whimsy. It's my
oh man.
Shouts to y'all, man.
Thank you. We appreciate it. And
Please, before we go, please tell
yes,
everyone where they can find Almanac of Rap and how they can follow you. All of the things, all of the socials. Please let our audience know.
Almanac of Rap is on Instagram under AOR Show. I'm on Instagram under Donwill, just all one word, no spaces. And if you want to hit me up, I have a 1-800 number, 877 Donwill. That's 877 DONWILL. Drop me a message, man. I might pick up. I might say what's up. You never know. I'm just doing shit
that's
weird, man.
amazing.
I'm getting weird.
Please, you know what you should do? You should do one of those. Remember those commercials? I don't know how old you are, Donwill, but J Ray, do you remember when like JJ Fad or
Oh
Two Live
yeah.
Crew, they would drop commercials and they
Yep.
Dr. Dre and them, they would have
Mhm.
their 800
Who's your
number
number?
and you can call them, but it's gotta be 80s.
I
There
love
you go.
that, man. Please, y'all, make sure that you connect with Don Will. Thank y'all so much for joining us here on Q Points. If you can see our faces and hear our voices, make sure that you subscribe. Tell your friends, family, colleagues about the show. Make sure that you subscribe to Don Will's platforms. Go and subscribe to the Almanac of Rap right now. Wherever you enjoy your podcast, make sure you follow him on social media as well. Check out Q Points at qpoints.com. You can become a member. It keeps the lights on in Q Points land. And you can listen to all of the archive episodes of Q Points in addition to a bunch of other stuff on Substack. And you can shop our store, do all of the things. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all.
We absolutely doing this, like I say in every episode. In this life, you have a choice. You can either pick up the needle or you can let the record play. I am DJ Sir Daniel.
My name is J Ray, and that's our brother Don Will.
And this is Q
Peace.
Points Podcast, dropping the needle on Black music history. We will see you on the next go round. Peace, y'all.
Peace, y'all.
Peace.